Hi students, today we will see class 10 chapter 4 agriculture, technological and institutional reforms. It was mentioned in the previous pages that agriculture has been practiced in India for thousands of years. Sustained uses of land without compatible and institutional changes have entered the phase of agricultural development. In spite of development of sources of irrigation, most of the farmers in large parts of the country still depend upon monsoon and natural fertility in order to carry on their agriculture. For a growing population, this poses a serious challenge. Agriculture, which provides livelihood for more than 60% of its population, needs some serious technical and institutional reforms. Thus, collectivization, consolidation of the holdings, cooperation and abolition of the zamindari etc. were given priority to bring about institutional reforms in the country after independence. Land reform was the main focus of our first 5-year plan. The right of inheritance had already led to fragmentation of land holdings, necessitating consolidating of holdings. The laws of land reforms were intact, but the laws of implementation was lacking or lukewarm. The Government of India embarked upon introducing agricultural reforms to improve Indian agriculture in the 1960s and 1970s. The Green Revolution, based on the use of package technology, and White Revolution (Operation Flood) were some of the strategies initiated to improve the lot of Indian agriculture. But these too led them to the concentration of development in few selected areas. Therefore, in the 1980s and 1990s, a comprehensive land development program was initiated, which included both institutional and technological reforms. Provision for crop insurance against drought, flood, cyclone, fire and disease, establishment of Brahmin banks, cooperative societies and banks for providing loan facilities to the farmers at low rates of interest were some important steps in this direction. Kisan Credit Card (KCC) Personal Accident Insurance Scheme (PAIS) or some other schemes introduced by the Government of India for the benefit of the farmers. Moreover, special weather bulletins and agriculture programs for farmers were introduced on the radio and television. The government also announces minimum support price, remunerative and procurement prices for imported crops to check the exploitation of the farmers by speculators and middlemen. Bhudan Brahman. Mahatma Gandhi declared Vinoba as his spiritual heir. He also practiced in Satyagraha as one of the foremost Satyagrahis. He was one of the voluntaries of the Gandhi's concept of Gram Swarajya. After Gandhi's martyrdom, Vinoba undertook Padayatra to spread Gandhiji's message, covered almost the entire country. Once when he was delivering a lecture at Pachampalli in Andhra Pradesh, Pochampalli in Andhra Pradesh, some poor landless villagers demanded some land for their economic well-being. Vinoba could not promise it to them immediately, but assured them to talk to the government of India regarding the provision of land for them if they undertook cooperative farming. Certainly, Sri Ram Chandra Reddy stood up and offered 80 acres of land to be distributed among 80 landless villagers. This act was known as Bhudan. Later, he travelled and introduced his ideas widely all over India. Some Jamindars, owners of many villages, offered to distribute some villages among the landless. It was known as Gramdan. However, many landowners choose to provide some part of their land to the poor farmers due to the fear of Land Sealing Act. This Bhudan movement initiated by Vinoba, he is also known as the Bloodless Revolution. Here they give in the figure 4.16 modern technological equipment used in agriculture. Contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment and output. Agriculture has been the backbone of the Indian economy, though its share in the gross domestic product (GDP) has registered a declining trend from 1951 onwards. In 2010 to 11, about 52% of the total workforce was employed by the farm sector, which makes more than half of the Indian population depend on agriculture for subsistence. The declining share of agriculture in the GDP is a matter of serious concern, because any decline and stagnation in agriculture will lead to a decline in another spheres of the economy, having wider implications for society. Considering the importance of agriculture in India, the Government of India made concerted efforts to modernize agriculture. Establishment of Indian Council Agricultural Research (ICAR), agricultural universities, veterinary services and animal breeding centers, horticulture development, research and development in the field of meteorology and weather forecast, etc., were given priority for improving Indian agriculture. Apart from this, improving the rural infrastructure was also considered essential for the same activity. Find out why an Indian farmer does not want his son to become a farmer. From the table 4.1, it is clear that though the GDP growth rate is increasing over the years, it is not generating sufficient employment opportunities in the country. The growth rate in agriculture is decelerating, which is an alarming situation. Today, Indian farmers are facing a big challenge from the international competition, and our government is going ahead with the reduction in the public investment in agriculture sector, particularly in irrigation, power, rural roads, market and mechanization. Subsidy on fertilizer is decreased, leading to increase in the cost of production. Moreover, reduction in import duties on agricultural products have proved detrimental to agriculture in the country. Farmers are withdrawing their investment from agriculture, causing a downfall in the employment in agriculture. Here they give in table 4.1 India growth of GDP and major sector in percent. Sector 10th 5-year plan 11th 5-year plan, 2012 to 17, target 1, target 2. Here they give the year 2002 to 2007, 2007 to 12. In the area agriculture, 1.7, year 2002 to 7, 2007 to 12, 3.2, 12 to 17, target 1, 4%, target 2, 4.2%. In industries, 8.3, year 2002 to 7, 7.4, 2007 to 12, 12 to 17, 9.6% in target 1, 10.9 in target 2. Services 2002 to 7, 9%, 2007 to 12, 10%, 12 to 17, target 1, 10%, target 2 also 10%. So total GDP in the year 2002 to 7 is 7.2. 11th 5-year plan 2007 to 12, total GDP is 8.2. 2012 to 17, target 1, GDP is 9%. 2012 to 17, target 2, the GDP is 9.5%. So, foster, sustainable and more inclusive. An approach to the 12th 5-year plan, Planning Commission, Government of India, 2011. When farmers have been facing so many problems and land under agriculture is decreasing, can we think of alternative employment opportunities in the agriculture sector? Why are the farmers committing suicides in the several sectors of the country? Food security. You know that food is a basic need and every citizen of the country should have access to food which provides minimum nutritional level. If any segment of our population does not have this access, that segment suffers from lack of food security. The number of people who do not have food security is disproportionately large in some regions of our country, particularly in economically less developed states with higher incidence of poverty. The remote areas of the country are more prone to natural disasters and uncertain food supply. In order to ensure availability of food to all sections of society, our government carefully designed a national food security system. It consists of two components: A, buffer stock, and B, public distribution system, PDS. As you know, PDS is a program which provides food grain and other essential commodities at subsidized prices in rural and urban areas. India's food security policy has a primary objective to ensure availability of food grains to the common people at an affordable price. It has enabled the poor to have access to the food. The focus of policy is on growth in agriculture production and fixing the support price for the procurement of wheat and rice to maintain their stocks. Food Corporation of India (FCI) is responsible for procuring and stocking food grains, whereas the distribution is ensured by Public Distribution System (PDS). The FCI procures food grains from the farmers at the government announced minimum support price (MSP). The government used to provide the subsidies on agriculture inputs such as fertilizer, power and water. The subsidies have now reached the unsustainable levels and have also led to large-scale inefficiencies in the use of these scarce The third input, excessive and imprudent use of fertilizer. Excessive and imprudent uses of fertilizer and water has led to waterlogging, salinity and depletion of essential micronutrients in the soil. The high MSP subsidies in input and committed FCI purchases have distracted the cropping pattern. Wheat and paddy crops are being grown more for the MSP they get. Punjab and Haryana are the foremost example. This has also created a serious imbalance in intercrop parties. You already know that the consumers are divided into two categories: below poverty line (PPL) and above poverty line (APL), with the issue price being different for each category. However, this categorization is not perfect, and a number of deserving poor have been excluded from the BPL category. Moreover, some of the so-called APL skip back to BPL because of the failure of even one crop, and is administratively difficult to accommodate such shifts. Each district and block can be made self-sufficient in food grain production if government provides proper agricultural infrastructure, credit linkages, and also ensures the use of latest techniques. Instead of concentrating only on rice or wheat, the food crop with a better growth potential in that particular area must be encouraged. Creation of necessary infrastructure like irrigation facilities, ability of electricity, etc. may also provide investments in agriculture. The focus on increasing food grain production, which should be on a sustainable basis, and also free trade in grains, will create massive employment and reduce poverty in rural areas. There has been a gradual shift from the cultivation of food crops to cultivation of fruits, vegetables, oilseeds, and industrial crops. This has led to the reduction in net sown area under cereals and pulses. With the growing population of India, the declining food production puts a big question mark over the country's future food security. The competition for land between non-agricultural uses such as housing, etc. Agriculture has resulted in reduction in the net sown area. The productivity of land has started showing a declining trend. Fertilizer, pesticides, and insecticides, which once showed dramatic results, are now being held responsible for degrading the soils. Periodic scarcity of the water scarcity of water has led to reduction in area under irrigation. Insufficient water management has led to water lagging and salinity. Activity. Draw bar diagram showing the trend of food grain production in India during last 5 years. Find out the season of this trend. Table 4.2 India food grains production million tons. Cereals 2006 to 7, 2007 to 8, 2006 to 7, rice 96.4, wheat 75.8, chorus grains and jowar and bajra 18.0, pulses 14.2, total 2001.4. 2007 to 8, rice 96.7, wheat 78.6, chorus grains and jowar and bajra 17.4, pulses 14.8, total 207.5. In the year 2008 to 9, rice 19.2, wheat 80.7, porous grains jowar and bajira 16.3, pulses 14.6, total is 210.8. 2009 to 10, rice 18.10, wheat 80.80, porous grains in jowar and bajira 16.6, pulses 14.70, total 201.2. 2010 to 11, provisional, rice is 95.3, wheat is 85.9, porous grains jowar and bajira is 16.5, pulses 18.1, total is 250.8. Source: Directorate of Economic and Statistics, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, Economic Survey 2011 to 12. One important reason is the land degradation. A free power to section of farmers has encouraged them to pump the groundwater to grow water-intensive crops in low rainfall areas, in bracket rice in Punjab, sugarcane in Maharashtra. This unsustainable pumping has reduced water storage in aquifers. Consequently, many wells and tube wells have run dry. This has pushed the marginal and small farmers out of cultivation. The big farmers with the deeper tube wells still have water, but many others face a water crisis. Inadequate storage and marketing facilities also act as a disincentive to the farmers. Thus, the farmers are badly affected by the uncertainties or uncertainties of production and marketing. They suffer from the double disadvantage as they pay high prices for input such as HYV seeds, fertilizers, etc., but lacking of bargaining power to fix the prices in their favor. All the production reaches the market simultaneously. The higher the supply, the lower is the demand. This causes the distressed sale also. Therefore, there can be no food security without the security of the small farmers. Here they give in the picture World Food Day theme: invest in agriculture for food security. Diversify your diet for achieving better nutrition for health development. The seeds of farmer suicide, crop failure, price crash act as the trigger. Central cases in input to check price rise. Thank you. Sharing is caring. Comment your thoughts. Subscribe for more knowledge.